I'm Ren and I love birds. Today I'm taking you on a virtual tour of my visit to Woodlands Historic Park in Melbourne. I'll start by telling you a bit about what makes this park special, then walk you through my birding adventure today. Finally, for anyone who appreciates knowing what to expect, I'll wrap things up with some practical details about visiting the park. So grab your imaginary binoculars and let's get started. So to give you a quick rundown of what makes Woodlands Historic Park so special, if you couldn't tell by the name, this place is steeped in history. The historical park features one of Australia's first kit houses, a prefab timber house brought all the way from Britain in the 1840s, and there's some interesting ruins to check out too, both from the mid-1800s. If you're interested in Indigenous history, you can also spot scarred trees throughout the park, reminders of the Wurundjeri people who lived here long before European. Alright, so let's go to the Woodlands Historic Park. I originally planned to go with the BirdLife event. If you didn't know about BirdLife's events and meetups, this one was aimed at beginner birders, and I was super excited to join. But I was running late, and when I caught up with the group, there were about 20 to 30 of them, and so I set off by myself and walked in the other direction, away from the group, and headed up towards the back paddock. I hadn't actually been to the back paddock before, and it was a lovely sunny morning. My eyes were watering. As I walked, I saw a few of our usual suspects: sulphur-crested cockatoos screeching, Rosellas flitting between the trees, magpies strutting around. There were also tons of kangaroos with their cute little faces all scratching and looking, oh, so cute. Anyway, when I reached the back paddocks, I climbed up to the top of the hill, waiting for the breathtaking view, and didn't really see one. Anyway, being near Tullamarine Airport means there's a constant parade of planes overhead. It's quite loud and there's a distinct aroma of jet fuel in the air for a lot of the time. If the sight and sound of planes bother you, you might want to reconsider your visit, but it was worth pushing through for me. After a while you get used to it and all the planes sort of fade into the background. Nature has a way of, grabbing your attention, and I was definitely hyper-focused on spotting birds. I found a nice spot to sit and had a delightful little chat with some fairy wrens and some yellow-rumped thornbills. As I was sitting there, I heard the distinct call of a spotted parrot. Now let me tell you about spotted parrots. These are the ultimate hide-and-seek champions of the avian world, and there are three main reasons why you'll hear them everywhere but rarely see them. First of all, they're tiny. They're about the size of a chicken egg. Secondly, they love hanging out at the very top of trees, so picture trying to spot an egg-sized bird at the top of a towering eucalyptus. The last fact is the one that kind of blew my mind. One of the reasons it's so hard to locate a parrot is because what sounds like one call is actually a duet. So there'll be an initial call and an almost instant response from a partner. So when you're trying to figure out where the sound is coming from, it's actually coming from two different directions. This is why I've always heard the call and thought, oh, it's got to be right next to me. But then it's actually in a tree 50 meters away. It's a weird experience, but parrots are really cute, so they're worth hunting for. As I continued my walk, I heard the cheeky little chittering of some musk lorikeets, eastern rosellas, red-rumped parrots. I had a blast taking videos and watching them. They're super adorable, munching on the seeds in the bushes and grass. I made my way around towards the creek and got really distracted by the magnificent, gigantic trees. This is a historical woodland after all, so some of these trees are absolute giants. I'm not saying you should climb these trees, but they're definitely climbable trees. Or you could just, sit beneath them and bask in their majesty. I mean, they look so magical. You'd swear that fairies lived in them. Look at this one. How can you not believe in fairies when you see a tree like this? Sorry, okay. I spent a lot of time looking at trees. Then a brown thornbill told me to get lost, and I continued my walk, so I stopped for a quick snack break. Even got to pat a friendly little dog whilst crossing a stream. And then I realised I'd been out for almost 2.5 hours and that nature was calling in more ways than one. But you know how it is when you're bird watching, there's always that feeling that you haven't seen the bird yet. And I couldn't really know what the bird was, but then suddenly I saw something interesting in a tree that had a grey fantail and something else. And it was a golden whistler, a female golden whistler. A real treat. I got to spend some time admiring her, but eventually reality set in and I remembered that I needed to go to the bathroom, so I headed off. I got sidetracked again by some musk lorikeets. These birds, I swear, are masters of camouflage. It's like their feathers are the equivalent of a ghillie suit. They're like max stealth mode. Their feathers blend in so perfectly with the leaves that unless they're moving or chattering, you'd swear the tree itself would come to life. I could hear one calling, but I could not see it. I stood there for 10 minutes and I couldn't see it. So that's embarrassing, but it happens to the best of us. Now that we've covered my birding adventure, let's talk about the nitty-gritty details of the Woodlands Historic Park. If you want to visit this reserve and you might appreciate knowing exactly what to expect, and the park is open daily from 9 AM to 4:30, there's a solar powered gate There are toilet facilities available, which I was incredibly grateful for by the end of my visit. There's plenty of parking available, which is a bonus on weekends that get really busy. There's seating areas for picnics. Fires are not allowed, and I was really disappointed to see some ash from a previous fire. One of the best things about this park is its accessibility. The tracks are well maintained and mostly flat, so it's a great spot for families and people with varying mobility levels. Whether you're a serious birder or just a casual nature enthusiast or someone looking for a nice day out, I think this park has something for everyone. I should mention that this wasn't my first time visiting Woodlands Historic Park. One of the things I love the most about this place is how it changes with the seasons. In summer, we were captivated by the kingfishers, who weren't there today, but they'll come back, and winter brings its own special charm, I think, with the robins who spend their summers at higher altitudes and come down to lower areas like this in the winter. And I think these seasonal changes are part of what makes birdwatching super rewarding. There's always something new to see depending on the time of year.